we do a lot to try to include everybody. And I think they're proud of what's going on, and they're proud to see that things are happening. And because this is, it's a small town. Main Street means a lot to small towns. And if we can revitalize it, which I'm convinced we will, then an awful lot of people will be pleased with that because they remember when it was a vibrant part of town.
I think that Main Street in Batesville, it's something unique about our city. So Batesville is, the second oldest city in Arkansas. And I think that Main Street, therefore, is a really, it's almost something that's been handed down to us as a community. And I think that as we preserve it together, that brings us together as a community.
The idea of getting community together, for people to have more opportunity to come down here for more stores, more restaurants, the movie theater, all these kind of things, it creates community better.
The city, of course, was a small town, has been a small town for a long time. Main Street was extremely important until the early 80s for this town. And so to be involved with trying to bring it back is a fun and exciting adventure.
Having our business on Main Street is a lot of fun. There's a lot of traffic on Main Street. There's a lot of folks that come down here, and we just really, really enjoy it. There's a sense of community among the business owners on Main Street. We all kind of pitch in and help each other and to promote Main Street and all the things that are going on. So being on Main Street's a lot of fun.
Seeing people walking up and down the block is exciting. Here recently there's been all the Pokemon Go stuff, and there's people that, if I'm down here working until 11 at night, I go outside and there are people around at 11 at night, and that's exciting. There's just an exciting life about Main Street.
We really like it. We feel like we're part of the action. We're kind of in a central location. And so, part of what our vision as a church is to reach the city. And so for us to be on Main Street is really strategic to reach our vision. We're here. We could be a presence. We can really feel like we're part of the community being down here.
I think being on Main Street every day is one of the greatest parts of my job. It's exciting. There is a thrum of activity all the time. Because Main Street feels like a neighborhood street, then showing up to work feels like showing up with friends, watching people pass by the windows as they walk their dogs, they jog, they run, they go about their business. You just see a lot of faces so it's a lot more intimate than maybe working on one of the more main large highway style streets in town. It's really coming to work is really one of the most fun things I get to do, just watching the traffic go by and people live and do life on Main Street.
The fact that we get to be down here on Main Street, especially with the renovation that's going on down through here, is pretty awesome. I feel like there's a lot more flow coming through as the renovation proceeds. So it's nice and it's really good for business.
Main Street gives you that central gathering point. In years past, even before when I was a little girl, but I hear folks my parents' age talk about coming to town on Saturday, and Main Street was where everything was. Before your big box stores came in, everybody came to Main Street and you bought all your goods and supplies for the week, and you met up with your neighbors and you talked about what was going on. And that's what we want, and that's what we need. We need that sense of community to come back.
5 years ago, Main Street was starting to show some signs of people trying to reinvest, reopen businesses, but that had been the story for quite some time, ever since the decline of Main Street in maybe the 70s and 80s as the larger chain retailers came into town and traffic was diverted in other directions through the city. Main Street was no longer popular, and then things began to deteriorate. People weren't investing in the buildings themselves, so the buildings were crumbling, and Main Street kind of developed just a reputation of decay. There were jokes going around when I was a kid in high school that if you went to the theaters, the ceiling was going to fall on your head and things like that. So Main Street wasn't seen as a fresh, cool place to be. It was seen as a place that your grandparents went to, and if you wanted to get old things, you'd go to Main Street. So 5 years ago, that was definitely starting to change, but not very quickly.
It wasn't really lively like it's becoming, so there wasn't much interest. I know, like the Melba, I remember coming and watching the discounted movies every so often, but besides that, there wasn't a whole lot for like the youth. I mean, I might be 30, but I'm still a little younger, so there wasn't a lot for my generation down here.
We had 20 empty buildings on the street. There are a total of 56, so 20 were empty, slowly losing buildings every couple of months. Activity was very low, and a lot of the local people said, that's the end of Main Street and goodbye.
When I first moved down here, it seemed like there were a lot of open, empty buildings on Main Street. A lot of businesses that started up and seemed to close pretty quickly, but in the past year, I've seen a big boom in businesses, and it seems like a lot of the newer businesses are going to stick around for a while.
We feel that we've gotten a good start on revitalization. We have all but 2 buildings occupied. We have a lot of activities that are going on both within the merchants and things that Main Street puts on as well. So we're not there, we never will be there, but we're pleased with the progress we've made so far. And so we like to see what's happening, and a lot has happened.
One of the coolest things about Main Street is the Pocket Park. Have you seen that? So in the last 2 years, they've made that place a lot better. And, there's these cool Italian lights, and there's the netting on top, and they've got a new little sculpture above the entryway, and it's just a really neat place to hang out. So I've enjoyed what they've done with that.
Well, now it's exciting looking into the future with the Melba opening back up and being renovated, the new coffee shop going in downtown, and a couple new restaurants. So it's exciting to get more businesses to draw people down to Main Street.
Main Street compared to 5 years ago is very vibrant. There's a lot happening. Even just in the short time span of a year, when we moved in last May, there were 12 empty storefronts on our Main Street, and now a year later there are only 2. And I hear tell that those may be full before long. We have new restaurants coming. Our Melba Theater is being revitalized and will open soon. So a lot of great changes.
It's more amped up. It's got a lot more activity going on. There's a lot more flow. They're adding a whole lot of new businesses. We have a yogurt shop up the road that's a frozen yogurt, so that's pretty awesome. I mean, everybody likes to come in, sit and eat frozen yogurts, families and stuff. So then we have the new, our new panini shop down here, and then Melba's getting amped up and, revived. So that's pretty awesome. It's bringing a lot of new faces and the younger generation down.
What I hope we see is upstairs in a lot of our historic buildings, there's empty spaces and just empty windows right now at night. It's all dark. So I hope in 5 years that the push for apartments has been realized and we see lights at night. We see families and young professionals coming down and enjoying what Main Street has to offer. So I'm hoping that we'll really see the dream of the sense of community coming to life in 5 years.
Well, hopefully it will be, drawing a lot of art appreciators down to visit the gallery, and there's another gallery that moved in across the street, so we're getting a lot more art interest on Main Street. I just hope it, continues to grow and get community and excitement involved.
Hopefully more revitalized. Hopefully it's going to continue going in the direction that it's already going in. I've heard plans of maybe apartment buildings above the shops here on Main Street. That's a great idea. Hopefully more restaurants, coffee shops.
I hope that the renaissance that's happening here will spill out into the adjoining streets, the adjoining neighborhoods, and the adjoining districts in Batesville, so that everyone can experience this restoration that's happening.
There will be no empty stores. We will have the streetscape, which you saw, a piece of that was completed. That'll be complete. We will have some additional things on the street. We'll have a fairly large edifice. We'll put a large bronze plaque for those who contributed to making Main Street what it is today. And so I envision, or we envision, I should say properly, a revived and anxious town that's proud of their Main Street.